once again, 3D Politics on another Monday night. David Van, David Oldham right here with Tom E. McKay. And I've got a story out of Tulsa from Oldham here. This is about Reggie and Tasman Bowles. Early in January this year, there was an arrest of Tasman Bowles.
It's Tamsin.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Tamsin, thank you. They were going to, the police were attempting to execute a lawful court order to remove her children. Evidence she has indicates that there was no cause for the quote-unquote emergency order, which led to the rest of this tragedy. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, this is a story that I became aware of. I saw the original news releases. This horrible lady, you know, resisted the police and all of this.
Well, she must be guilty.
She must be. I mean, there was nothing but the arrest. The story itself was basically innocuous, but they definitely put out the police narrative. The real story is the backstory, not her arrest. Okay? Her arrest was basically stemmed from her being a mother. And what they did was they came into the home to take the children from the family.
Based on what?
Based on an alleged complaint filed to DHS, and then an attempt to investigate. Now, we've heard this before, especially with the...
Sounds like date rape to me, David.
Well, no, we've heard this before with, what's his name at the Broken Arrow, Neenwee Park.
Oh, yeah, Rick Hubbard.
Rick Hubbard.
Sure. Attempt to investigate.
And so what it is it's an attempt to investigate. They go out and they want to talk to the parents. They want to see the children. They want to look inside the house and this and that and the other thing. The problem is that there's a pesky Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that says that we have the right to remain silent and be secure, and the Fourth Amendment, be secure in our houses and
personal
effects and so forth, and therefore they need to have a warrant. Well, they don't have a warrant, so they're told basically to take a hike, come back when you've got something more, talk to our lawyer, kind of a thing, and that then became sufficient to gain the warrant.
Oh my God!
And basically, then they came back and tried to bluff their way into the house, and then looked through the windows and report to the court that they see dark circles around the children's eyes, and that the children look malnourished. And
I thought looking in somebody's windows is grounds for getting shot.
You mean being shot by the police?
That would be you looking out your window as grounds for being shot.
I mean, my God, you know, you're on somebody's private property.
Well, unfortunately, they live in an apartment complex, and so it's
their abode is still considered their private property.
Yes, but if your window is somehow open and they can look in,
I guarantee you, I go down these apartments down the street here, and I look in windows. The cops will be coming after me.
Well, I agree, but I mean, if you go into an apartment, you're doing that. But if you've got a gun and a badge, or at least just a badge, you know, maybe because DHS doesn't have guns. But if you have a badge, then that somehow makes it all okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they then swear to the court that they have extreme concern and need to remove the children.
You said
they is DHS.
Says to the
court that they cannot resolve this matter because the parents refuse to communicate.
Right, and they're scared. DHS is scared for the
kids. They said they have extreme concern. Now,
you have broken the law if you made me scared. And if I'm scared and you're what scared me, then you broke the law. That's essentially this is what our society's become.
This is the situation is that they later at the in the hospital, because they came in and took the kids. They got the court order. The judge, without any actual probable cause, okay, the only thing sworn to was extreme concern,
right?
And parents won't talk to us. And we had we had an allegation.
So
an anonymous allegation.
So if you exercise your Fourth Amendment, right, your right to remain silent is how
that's the Fifth Amendment.
Well, yeah, okay. If you exercise your Fifth Amendment, that now is grounds for a warrant.
Correct.
How dare they not talk to us? Not answer our questions.
Well, that is exactly what they got, what they were trying to put over on Rick Hubbard.
Yeah.
And Nienhuis. Because remember, what they did was they didn't go talk to the caller to investigate. They come up to him with their guns all out and everything like that and say, "What are you doing here? Blah 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 blah."
Right.
And if it's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm gonna remain silent as per my constitutional right. And then they take that as obstruction, and they then go down that whole road.
Right.
And gee, what was she arrested for? Basically resisting, obstruction, impeding, that sort of thing. Because when they did come in, she was left with nowhere to escape to but the bedroom, and tried to.
So one of my mantras is, what's true in the micro is typically true in the macro. Is there a parallel or an analogy to what they're doing to Trump in the impeachment trial?
Oh, absolutely.
Because essentially, he's saying, "Look, I'm gonna." I'm not. He's defending himself, and they're saying it's obstruction.
Well, and this is what we should be pointing out for all the Trumpsters and everybody who recognize this is happening everywhere. It's in every jurisdiction across the United States, and mind you, the allegations proved false because I saw the hospital records and the write-up from the doctor. The children were given a clean bill of health. Were then scheduled to go visit with the DHS hack pediatrician, who they go to for everything that they want to write up. So right. I don't know what we haven't been able to find out what that pediatrician has said, but they haven't returned the children, and as we were talking the other night, they should have been returned immediately because there was nothing found. Basically. But nothing like that, because once they get their hooks into the kids, they keep them as long as they can.
I'm not done with this story, but there's probably people who are now hooked to hear about this story of Reggie and Tamsin Bowles, and I know there's a way to contact or get information about this story.
I would say then it's on constitutional grounds. It's on 3D Politics. I put it up there.
That's constitutionalgrounds.com.
Well, no, Constitutional Grounds on Facebook.
Sure.
So Constitutional Grounds on Facebook. Find the spelling of their names. I didn't tag them in the story, but you can just put their names into Facebook, and they have Facebook accounts, and you will see they're sharing their story. They're probably even watching us right now, and they may be online to say hi to people.
Let me ask you.
This is an ongoing tragedy. If you're interested, there's a way to contact the people or at least follow the story.
Okay, one is, do they have legal help yet?
They do have some legal help. This is not the first time, unfortunately, they've gone through this. And so that's part of what's led up to this, is because they have gone through this badly the first time around. Mm-hmm. In fact, the first time around, they believe that when the children were given to in-laws, either while the kids were in DHS custody or given to the in-laws, they believed that the eldest child was vaccinated against their wishes. Mm-hmm. In fact, this was a vaccine story in this aspect. Mm-hmm. The first time this happened, one of the criticisms of their parenting that was to show they were unworthy to be a parent and to have their rights as parents deprived was that they chose not to vaccinate their children. And that was literally used by Steve Kunzweiler's office, our DA here in Tulsa, a non-legal reason used in a legal proceeding for to deprive these people of their rights. Steve, your office has a lot to answer for. It was 3 years ago, but we're going to have a talk because you're still involved in this thing, and I don't like it. Yeah. But anyway, so is it any wonder that they had problems talking to these people this second time around when they've gotten shafted the first? Their son, their eldest son, is now autistic, was fine before he went into DHS custody, is now autistic, and unfortunately is still in a diaper, as I met a 13-year-old who's still in a diaper back when I was in New Jersey, because that's what happens with some autism cases.
Yep.
It's the hospital reports read like a for the eldest, read like a kid with vaccine injury, with neurological damage. It is just, it's just heart-wrenching when you think about these things.
I got a question.
So, yes.
It's from your story, Constitutional Grounds.
Yes.
It does say that the Bowls has a Facebook page that you can find.
Yes.
But there's a distinction between the official concern that they had, but no evidence of abuse. So there's a difference between abuse and concern. And then it says here, plus upon finding out that DHS's concern was invalid. Who found out it was invalid, and how they validate the invalid validation?
Oh, remind me where that is.
Well, what I'm saying is it's in the bottom. Constitutional Grounds takes interest in cases like this.
Oh, right.
But it says upon finding out their concern was invalid. Who found out? Who says it was invalid?
Oh, well, it should have been the caseworker, because there is a DHS caseworker who took the children to the doctor, to the hospital, and they were given a clean bill of health.
So at that clean bill of health is where it was determined.
At least at that point, there should have been some sort of light bulbs going off in that caseworker's head, and it's the caseworker who handles their case today.
But it's that doctor's meeting that you're saying was proving the concern was invalid.
Proving the concern was invalid. Okay, correct.
That's my
but then they did leave open to have yet another follow-up in case something bad should show up. And a few days later, and that was on the 13th or 14th. It started on the 10th. 13th or 14th, there was supposed to be another doctor visit, and that's the DHS special doctor that they take everybody to.
Right.
So I don't expect to have good news from that one, but we will have to find out. Unfortunately they're being hampered in their ability to get paperwork. While they were able to get the paperwork readily from the hospital, they were unable to from this doctor. May have to wait 30 days, and they're already having to go to court on it. So it's kind of hard to go to court when you don't have all your ammunition. So
and
we'll see.
If you're not of means to where you can take the time to do it.
And that's the other problem is and that's what is often the case. These people are not of means like so many, to be able to buy their way out.